Hello and welcome to Shake the Mic. Hello and welcome to Shake the Mic. Today I'm joined by online fitness coach and women's influencer Skye Roberts. Skye joins me in the studio today to talk about her life, her personal journey, women's fitness, comparisons on social media, mindset, development and much more. Skye, welcome on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming in. You're our first ever female guest.
Love that.
I'm really excited to have you, and I think it's about time that we actually got a woman on. I've been looking forward to having you on. I'm going to start out by talking about self-belief. Where does your self-belief come from?
Well, I think self-belief comes completely from yourself. I think you've got to believe in yourself that much that any outside influences can't change your perception on yourself. Otherwise, you're going to go through life just always being influenced by other people, and it's a tough world out there if you haven't got that belief in yourself that comes from within, that isn't external, that doesn't, change with maybe what you've got or who you've got around you. So it's got to come from inside you.
How do you build that? Like, how do you work on that? Have you always been self-confident? Have you always been had a lot of self-belief, or is that something that you've had to work on personally?
I think you've got to work on it 1,000,000%. I think you've got to, push yourself out your comfort zones, face things. Like if you're insecure on something, face it. You've probably read The Secret, manifestation, telling yourself things.
Secret's probably, this is going to sound dead like cheesy, but The Secret's probably my favourite book of all time. It's sort of the go-to mainstream book. People go, oh yeah, The Secret. I've read The Secret numerous times. And when I read the book for the first time, I was reading it like, wow, I already knew subconsciously. I knew a lot of this. I'd already been working on a lot of that. But if anybody's watching this, if they haven't read The Secret, that is a go-to. Like, that's the place to start. It's a must-have. It's a fantastic read.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Are you big on reading?
I do like my books, yeah.
I
think I could be bigger on reading. I've got into podcasts lately because sometimes I'm so busy, but I think if there's one thing I could change or push myself to do is read more.
Yeah.
I think nothing beats a book, because sometimes in the podcast, the way things are worded or phrased, it changes your perception. Whereas if you read it, you're free to
make your own twist on it.
Yeah.
I think anything informational is good too. We're all looking for information or entertainment, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us can get too used to entertainment where we just want to just chill and watch something. But I love to learn, and I think learning's definitely developing us. All of us together. We can all learn something, can't we?
Yeah, and I think you should never stop learning. I think because people think you leave school and that's you done. If you haven't learned something in a day, I think it's a day wasted. There's always something that you can learn.
That's boss guy.
Yeah, and you've got to be open to it. So, I think I read a book one, I don't even know, can't remember what it was called, but it touched on there is two types of people, and there's someone who can be taught and is always open to learning, and then you've got the fool who thinks they know everything and you can't tell them anything. And I think it's quite sad, because you could be the best of something, and someone might tell you something. You might be closed off to that straight away, but you've missed out on an opportunity there to learn, or at least explore something that you could learn.
I'm so open to that. I feel like we never know enough, and you need to just give everyone a chance and listen to what they've got to say. And then it's about acting upon the knowledge that we intake. It's okay in taking it all, but if you don't act on it, you won't reap the rewards from it. But I've recently had Tom Simpson on, and that's something I love about him. He's always looking to learn more. He knows a lot in the industry, and he knows a lot about what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's always he's going on courses, he's reading, he's learning more. Where a lot of people, they get to a certain stage in whatever their chosen field is, and they think I've boxed this and know it all.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to decline.
Yeah,
the second
I agree.
You keep learning, keep progressing and keep progressing, there's got to be progression, hasn't there?
Yeah. Well, to get to the next level of anything, you've got to learn more. You've got to learn more to be able to do more. So if you ever get to the point in your life where you're like, that's me, I don't need to learn, I've got everything, you'll stop there and you'll never get to that next level because you're never going to have the knowledge to do that.
Are you goal driven, Skye?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
How do you go about attaining your goals? Do you set them and attain them? Do you small goals? Do you set big goals? Do you set both?
I think it's important to have both. You know, everyone's got a bigger goal, and I think a lot of the time people set big goals and they scare themselves off and they end up giving up because they haven't set little goals that you can get along the way. I think as humans, we are driven to like achieve. So if we see something as unachievable, we are more likely to give up. Whereas if I can set like I could set a 5-year goal, but along the line I've got 6 months goals that's going to get me there.
Do you write your goals down?
Yeah.
Do you say them out loud?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, in the mirror.
You're into affirmations?
Yeah.
What are some of your affirmations, Skye? Give me some examples of an affirmation that Skye Bleu might come with. Just a daily one, maybe something. What's personal to you?
So, need to break a sec.
Go on, have a break. It's cool, honestly. It's cool. We've got all day.
Can't think off the top of my head.
Anything. Could be I am strong, I am happy.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful, whatever goes on in your head, because I feel like just reaffirming these things to ourselves is so important. And like, people think it sounds stupid or like cringy at first when you say it.
Yeah.
But to me, some of my affirmations, I'll tell you some of mine and break the barriers down a little bit. I'll say like stuff like, I am strong, I am happy and I'm healthy, I'm physically fit, I'm blessed, I'm grateful. Because I am so blessed, and I don't like to use the word lucky either, because I don't think I am lucky, because I think we create our own luck. I think I'm blessed. I've worked hard for anything that I've got in my life, and anything bad that's in my life is also my fault as well, and I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of people like to play the blame game and say, oh, it was because of them, or it was because of her, or no, it weren't, it was because of you. And the quicker everyone gets onto that, it's like, that's where progress is. It was my fault. It was my fault it didn't happen, or it was my fault it did.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I affirm to myself every single day that I'm strong, that I'm brave, that I'm successful, that I'm wealthy, that I'm healthy, and I'm grateful. And I think practicing gratitude plays a huge part in living a good life, because you could set a 5-year goal, but in that time, you could be, you know, feeling pity for yourself because you're not there yet. But if you're grateful for everything that you do have so far, it's going to make that journey so much easier for you.
So much more enjoyable as well, because I think that we're all creatures of praise. And I think we need to have them little taste of success along the way. Otherwise, if the goal's too far, there's no stepping stones in between, we just give up on the goal. Yeah,
because it feels like all for nothing, and people, you see it all the time, don't you? Starting new businesses is a good one. 100%. A year down the line, people have given up because they think that first year is going to be so successful. That first year is probably going to be the most stressful year of your life. Business
is really hard.
You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to know that you're doing all these little things. And I think if you do the work and you do it day by day, and you know, you're consistent and you don't give up, you'll get there. It's impossible not to.
Consistency is key. Yeah. If you set a goal, and you're that persistent with it, and you keep turning up every day, it's inevitable. You've got to reach it.
Yeah.
It's like this podcast for me. This podcast has been going maybe 18 months. The amount of people I've reached out to, and they've said no.
Yeah.
Like, I've had setbacks. And people have said, no, sorry, I wouldn't come on, mate, or maybe in the future and stuff like that. But through business, like my daily life, with me work life, I've been in business now for nearly 10 years, and I know what it's like to have setbacks along the way.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that, and you've just got to just keep going.
Yeah.
I had Kate on recently. He's won an ABA title, and I said to him, like, how do you attain goals of that stature? And he said to me, just keep turning up.
Yeah.
Just keep turning up.
And that's as simple as it is. You just have to keep turning up, keep putting the work in, and one day, like, you'll get your break, or you'll get to it. You'll probably end up further than you ever dreamed of, because any goal that I've ever set myself, I've always gone past it, because that's what happens. You're consistent and you're persistent. You get to that goal and you think, what now? That was actually easy. I can do 10 times more than this. then you set the next goal and it's bigger, then you set the next goal and it's bigger than that.
I feel like if we've got no goals, we're just existing. And for me personally, I need something so that I don't feel like I'm a man. If there's no desire, if there's nothing for me to work towards, if I haven't got a passion to me purpose, there's no point. I'm just existing. I need something to work towards.
You need purpose.
I want to touch on something as well when I was saying about your affirmations and you were thinking about them. You're brave, Skye, because you've come on here today and I know how nervous you are. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, because I know it's taken a lot for you to come on here, because I know you were nervous, and you know, people may see it on social media and think like, you know, you've got it all boxed and you've got it all figured and you're having certain senses, but it takes a lot of confidence to go and put yourself out there and, you know, people on the outside looking in and, you know, to be open, to be judged. So just want to say you're brave and thanks very much for coming on. And also as well, to be out there with a profile like you've got on social media, and you are a fitness coach, but you're influencing other women because they're seeing what you're doing and they'll be inspired by it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also as well, I think another thing is I was going to touch on a bit later in the podcast, but I'll touch on it now, is being approachable. I think some people see like the likes of yourself or other fitness coaches out there who are in like really good shape physically, seem very switched on mentally, and some people are a bit intimidated, like, and feel maybe they can't approach people like yourself because they see like they're not there yet, so they might be out of shape or might be in the best place mentally, and they feel like, oh, I couldn't message her and ask her could I train with her. What would your message be to somebody out there who's like that? Because the benefits could be endless for them if they just reached out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think life's all about growth, and you've got to push yourself out your comfort zones. And, you know, I can guarantee every person you see on Instagram is not who you think they are if you don't know them. You know, everyone's got their own insecurities, and we were talking before, and I'm not good at public speaking, but I can chat the leg off a donkey any other day, but I'm not good at public speaking. So to come on podcast for me, it makes me nervous. And even I've only just recently started talking to like just even the camera. Now that's just me, and I'll sit in the car or I'll sit at home, and the amount of times I film things and think I'm not even posting it.
How many takes is it? For a post, an
average post, how
many takes have we got?
It can range, you know. It's never been one, put it that way.
One mic, 1 take, no?
No, never. I'll have to set myself a little challenge one time.
Yeah, just got hit it and put it out there, whatever it is.
Yeah, and you know, that makes me nervous, but I knew that for me to grow, there are things that I need to be doing. So you can't just go through life doing things that you're comfortable doing, because for me that wouldn't fulfill me.
No, you need that something to keep you on the edge, don't you?
Yeah. And I like,
on the edge is where the progress is, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like living on the edge. Like if I feel, like my friends will tell you this and my mum will tell you the same, if I feel too comfortable, I start almost self-sabotaging because I don't like an easy life. Now, I don't mean like an easy life and like I want to be happy and stuff like that, but if I'm doing things and I'm not being challenged, and even if it means going to the gym and doing like the other day I did 100 burpees in the gym, and my mate was like, why did you do that? I was like, because I wanted to push myself.
That's amazing.
And I think you've got to do things that you seem hard, because then you're like, oh, that was easy, I can do that now.
As well, it's like this modern day and age, right? Everything's here for us, so we used to be a lot more like self-sufficient and living off the land and stuff like that, going back to like your roots.
Yeah.
Now everything's here for us, everything's around us, your food's in the cupboard, whatever. Where we used to have to go out and forage for these things, and we used to have to like, so that part of you, that's just like human nature.
Yeah.
We want to push on.
Yeah.
And if you don't, and you get into that like comfort zone, that's when you just start like procrastinating, overthinking, feeling depressed. I feel like you've just got to be out there and you've got to be having a go and trying to push to your limits. And everyone's goals are different. Like your 100 burpees could be 10 to someone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be 150 to someone else. Everyone's got a different goal, but just doesn't matter how big or small your goal is, as long as it's attainable and it's valuable to you, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we always compare ourselves with other people naturally, don't we? So, you know, someone might be looking on my Instagram and comparing me, but, you know, I've been in the fitness game for years now. So don't compare my like year 3, year 4 with your day 1. It's not going to be the same. And actually, if you took me back 10 years ago, I probably was that girl looking at other girls on Instagram. Or, well, it wouldn't have been Instagram then, but, you know, naturally I think we can compare ourselves all the time, but you never know someone's story or what they did or sacrificed to get there.
Comparison's the thief of all joy.
Yeah, it is.
There's a saying that goes, if you stay in your own lane, there's no traffic.
Yeah.
That's something I want to touch on later on in the podcast with you, because it's deeper than that. So I feel like we can go a little bit more and give people a little bit more from that. The fitness industry today, at the minute, is just massive, and women's fitness is flying at the moment. Like, I feel like women are getting out there a lot more. They're getting more notoriety for what they're doing, even like on the sporting stages. Like, women's football's flying, women's boxing's flying. And I think it's about time that they are noticed more for like women for what they are doing. But can you feel that women are flying the flag? Do you feel that coming through in your client base today now, Skye, at the moment?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
becoming bigger.
Yeah. And, you know, I used to just have girls coming in, they want like a little 6-week plan, little 6-week course because they're going on holiday, they want to be as skinny as possible, you know, and it's this like, you know, diet culture, whereas that's starting to go now. Like, all my clients are strong and they're fit. They don't actually come to me to look a certain way. They come to be strong. They come to build that like mental resilience. Like, I want my clients to leave my sessions thinking I can take on the world, and a lot of them do. A lot of my clients will message me like, you know what, you've changed my life, and I love that. I love it. Hardly anyone ever messages me only about the changes in their body. In fact, I don't think anybody has ever done that. So now, like, women, they want to be strong. They don't want to be skinny. They want to be mentally strong. They want to be physically strong. Yes. And I love that.
I love it. I mean, like, even in the gym I train in locally now, it used to just be predominantly men. It was all men.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't really see women in there because we're in a proper boxing gym, but it was based around that, and it was a man's gym. And now there's so many girls in there, and so many women who are training, and you do see them do, and some of them will give men a good run for the money as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think that's it. It's inspiring and it's good. You've got a decent following online, and I'd say like one thing that's really stood out with me, you've got like a dead like positive vibe around you, like pleasant, positive, like bubbly, like feel, and that really shines through in your content online. And when I'm sitting with you now personally, I can feel that, and that's dead nice. Where does your positivity come from?
Do you know what? I think I am naturally quite a high energy person. And do you know what? I've always been a bit of a loner as well. And it doesn't sound like they connect, but they do, because I've always been like a little bit of a lone wolf. And when you're like that, I think negative influences, they sort of do just bounce off me. I don't really care about people's opinions if they're negative. To be honest with you, positive opinions are nice, but I don't care too much about them either, because my self-love and self-belief comes from within. So, you know, when you're on a road to wherever you want to go, you can't let negative things bring you down. And touch back on the secret, if you're in a negative mindset, you're always going to be backwards. If you're positive, that's the only way you can progress. And, you know, you'll attract people. I attract all my clients probably through positivity. And
you're sitting here today now because of positivity.
Yeah, I think so.
You've attracted me to message you to come on here. Everything you do is this is going to sound like cliche, but positivity attracts positivity, and it really does. Like, if you go out there and you put that energy out there to the world, it just comes back to you.
Yeah.
You know yourself, if you're hanging around people or your environment is dull or down, then you're going to feel that way eventually. And if you're in a good place, do you feel like your persona and your positivity and that passion for it, do you feel that's really rubbing off in your clients, Skye?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think energy is contagious, isn't it?
Definitely.
You know, if my clients were coming in and I had the weight of the world on your shoulders, and, you know, we've all been through things where we can be like that. There's many things I could sit in my sorrows over, but I never would. I think any in life is given to me that as being negative, it always ends up being a positive. That's in your own mindset to determine that. So, you know, if I was if I was training my clients and I was like, you know, all negative and I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, I'd never have got to where I was now, because they're not going to recommend anyone to me. They're probably never going to keep coming back.
No, they'll be like, bloody hell, you go through it and you come
out trained.
Okay, I want to peel back the layers and get to know you a little bit more. Let's go as far back as possible. What was you like as a little girl, Skye? Was you outgoing? Was you shy?
I've never been shy, no. Can't lie. But I wouldn't say I was too outgoing either. I think as a little girl, I was always like the little princess.
Was
so
you?
Yeah,
a girl's girl.
Yeah, always like a girl's girl through and through. But I was always like the little girly one. And there's loads of us like cousins wise and stuff. But around my age, all my cousins, they're all boys. And then my girl cousin, we used to fight because she used to like climb out the bedroom window and climb trees in the park, and she was like
tomboy.
She was a lot more tomboy than me, and we were chalk and cheese. And as I say, it never bothered me. I'd always be the one just doing my own thing in the park. They'd all be playing like football or climbing trees. And yeah, I always used to just do my own little thing, really. I think sometimes my mum used to worry about me because I was never big on like making friends, but I had loads of friends and I valued my friends as well. But sometimes in school, I remember sometimes in little school, I'd spend like the break times on my own just because I wanted to. Nothing would be wrong. Yeah. I just wanted some time to myself, and I'm still very much like that now.
Is that where you're the happiest?
I don't know, because, you know, I love spending time with family, I love spending time with my friends, but for me, I get overwhelmed if I don't have that time for myself. And if I've ever got anything that I need to process, good or bad, I need that time on my own. Which sometimes people can find it hard to understand that, because they see that as like confrontation.
Some people are intimidated by alone time.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of people can't sit with themselves. So people who can't sit with themselves, if you're asking for space, they see that as you're asking for space for a negative reason. Whereas sometimes I might be in the best place possible, but I still need time to, you know, ground myself on my own.
When you said then about sitting with themselves or sitting with yourself, it's sitting with feelings.
Yeah.
Are you a big advocate of sitting with your feelings?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can't let anything snowball. Even your positive emotions, I think you need to understand where they come from.
Do you understand your emotions, Skye? Do you feel like you do? Have you put work into that, trying to understand your emotions and trying to sit with them?
Yeah, and I think no one understands their emotions 100%. It's impossible. But if you sit with yourself, with your emotions, you'll always understand where they come from. And a lot of our emotions are actually triggered from like our childhood or like previous traumas. But if you don't understand that, you might go through life just getting triggered by things and letting things snowball to big situations where it doesn't ever need to be like that. And then that changes your energy. You slip into negative energy, you attract negative things, and people have these negative cycles. And you hear it all the time with people going, oh, why is this happening to me again? Why me? But you've actually attracted all of that by not dealing with that first initial feeling.
Do you think awareness doesn't get enough airtime?
Yeah, I do. And I think a lot of people still think that like sitting with your feelings is a weakness, or even expressing negative feelings is a weakness, but it's just such a strength, because
I think people are scared to sit with the feelings as well. I was speaking to Kevin Deves, who's a mind coach, and he said to me, like, anxiety, Jack, it's not the fire, it's the fire alarm. And that like woke me up. He was like,
yeah,
if you feel anxious, that's not the problem, lad. There's something deeper than that. There's something below that, and that's why you're feeling that feeling.
Yeah.
So you need to go there, you need to sit with it, and you need to find out why.
Yeah.
And if you find out why and you can peel that back, that feeling will eventually, it'll go away.
Yeah, it will.
And it won't come back because you've dealt with it.
Yeah.
But if you don't deal with it and you just go, whoa, I don't like that feeling, you push it to one side and you try and move on, it will keep coming back and keep coming back. You've got to go and sit with it.
Yeah. And it'll keep coming back, and it'll trigger it in places that you would never think that you'd be triggered, because it's all relating back to it. Your brain actually sees it as like it's a trauma response, and till you deal with that situation and your body can relax and be like, it's okay, whenever you're faced with anything similar, your body's just gonna go into like fight or flight.
Where are you from? Whereabouts are you from?
Liverpool.
Yeah, whereabouts
South.
in Liverpool? The south?
Yeah, Wavertree.
Wave away.
Yeah.
Growing up, what was your life? What was school life like?
I love school. Yeah, I went to senior school. I went to Belvedere, and it was all girls, and it was only small. It's changed now. But back then there was only like 3 forms in my year. We were actually the last private year in there. So I know it's completely different now, but I loved it. It was just me and the girls, and you know, lunchtime, sometimes I'd be with my mates, sometimes I'd be up to all sorts at lunchtime, sometimes I'd be in the library, sometimes I'd be like in some sewing workshop on my own, like.
Yeah. Was you academic?
Yeah. You know, I was academic, but my school was like, you know, clever school, you have to pass a test to get in and stuff, and I remember a lot of the time in school thinking like I wasn't academic because
the level was so high.
The level was so high, and you know, I went on to uni and like I got a degree and stuff like that, and you know, I'm clever when I'm interested in something. So I remember in my GCSEs getting all like A's, and then I got a D in Spanish.
You just weren't interested.
And I was like, I'm not into. Why did I get a D in Spanish? I'm like, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't ever, and it wasn't even like the teaching and stuff. I think like I didn't ever in my mind, you know, when you're a kid, you just think your whole life's probably like Liverpool, England. I was never interested in like living in Spain. So I wasn't really focused in there.
Yeah.
So when I used to revise, I wasn't bothered by Spanish. So
I speak to so many people now and they say if they went back to school, they just think they could elevate themselves so much more.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you apply yourself different. When you're older, you look at things with a different aspect, with a different mind frame, and everything is about perspective, isn't it? And when you're looking at something from as a kid, a lot of kids want to rebel. They don't really want to be there. You're not putting the same energy or effort in. I feel like if anything we apply ourselves to properly, we really progress. Was you athletic?
Yeah.
Was you?
Yeah, do you know what? I was always athletic, and I had an older brother as well. Like he, obviously my school was all girls, but he was always athletic as well. But we were athletic in different ways. So we used to run cross country. I was always a sprinter, so I'd win everyone in my sprint races. And I remember this day, me and my mate in school, we were like, we're gonna do cross country. And I come home like, Mum, I've got cross country at the weekend. And I remember my mum being like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. so it goes. And I'm there. And obviously it was just a last minute thing. So I hadn't had like proper training. And I'm there. There's like, I think there was 200 people in the race.
Yeah, it's a big race.
And I'm at the front, you know, like acting them hard. And you goes, sprinted off, fell over like a branch or something like that. The whole race went past me, and then I ended up finishing like 70 something, but I was like crying my eyes out because I wasn't used to like losing. And my mum was like, well, you know, you still come 76 out of like 200 people. I was like, I never came 76 now. And I didn't ever do cross country again.
I love cross country, you know.
Yeah,
I'm more long distance than I'm sprinting.
See, I was more a sprinter, and do you know what, funnily enough, like obviously that was just one time in school, it was funny and stuff. And then, because I'm asthmatic, and people always are shocked by that because I am very athletic. But I was thinking, why can't I run? Like, asthma's not stopping me from doing long distance. And I started getting on a treadmill and just running a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. And next thing, I was running like 10 k's on a treadmill for fun. And I remember one night, I couldn't sleep. And my gym's 24-hour. And I got out to bed. And I got on the treadmill, and you know what it's like in the middle of the night when you can't sleep and your mind's like ticking. And I was on the treadmill and I was just running and running. Next thing, I'd done like half a marathon on this treadmill, and I didn't notice. I felt like I hadn't ran, and I gone from cross country like years ago in school, and then from the mindset of like I can't run because it's my asthma. Of course I can. I just need to. Obviously, you've got to be careful in some ways. There's some days where like if I could feel my chest, I wouldn't push myself, but I know that I can do it.
We like to do the things we're good at, don't we? That's why I enjoy cross country, because I was never a good sprinter.
Yeah.
So like over the 100 meters or whatever, I was just the worst. So I hated it. I hated sprinting. I just didn't like it. And even now, last week I was running in the morning in the track. My dad 6 o'clock in the morning, and like when it's the sprints and that, I'm like, because I've never been the best at it. But now I'm talking about sitting with stuff before. I've been trying to like put myself in them places where I don't like it as much. Where like over the distance, I always enjoyed it a little bit more, and because you enjoy it more, you seem to do it more.
More, yeah. Are you a sore loser?
No, nah.
Yeah.
I think you all are. No,
I am,
what?
yeah.
No, I can take it on the chin. If I've lost for the right purposes, yeah. If I've been beat by like someone who deserves it, yeah. But if I haven't given 100% or I haven't committed myself properly, I'll feel disappointment and resentment with myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because you were always winning everything, Skye, that's why you're the sore loser.
I think for me, it's like, but if I put myself in a situation, like I'm doing the work to do it. So if I'm in that and I don't win, do you know what? I wouldn't call myself a sore loser, but you bet I'm going straight back.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna win.
That's the right attitude to have. That's the attitude in it to have. Especially with what you're doing as well, and what you're preaching. You've got to be that type of person, haven't you?
Yeah.
Teenage years, growing up and stuff like that, when you were in senior school, did you ever get caught in the trappings of like drinking, drugs, partying, going out, that teenage phase?
Yeah. Not really. Like I never ever went out. Like I think most people went out on like the streets, didn't they? And like everyone's got stories of being like drunk in the park. I never done any of that.
Didn't you?
No. But we did used to sneak out when we were in like year 11. So obviously year 11, you're 16, but my birthday is April, so most of my mates, their birthdays was before Christmas, so they were like 16. I remember I was still 15, and we started sneaking out, so I'd say I'm staying in my mate, she'd be like in mine or whatever, and we'd go out to town. And then this day, I was getting up for school on a Monday morning, and I'd come downstairs and my mum was just sat there in the living room doing work on a laptop, and she's got this picture of me saved as the background. So like me, I'm like out on the Saturday night, and she goes to me, "That's a nice picture, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Where's that?" And I was like, "In town." I remember the place was called Bamboo. I was grand, so I had my phone took off me, and do you know, funnily enough, I did sneak out again after that. But when I did it the next time, I remember coming in and I was like, "Mum, I've been out." And then from that, she was like, "Do you know what? You're turning 16. She started to be able to trust me a bit more then, because I could be open with her. Yeah,
trust elements in it.
Yeah, and obviously she didn't want me going out and I wasn't allowed out, but I did have a little bit more like freedom.
Leniency, leeway.
Yeah, it did have a little bit more leniency, and like growing up, like my mum was quite strict, but I'm so thankful that she was.
It saved you.
Yeah, it did save me. And you know, back at the time, sometimes you're like, "Oh, for God's sake," but now I'm so thankful.
Yeah. And later on in life, it's come back around for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Discipline's a massive thing.
It builds discipline, yeah. And you know what? A lot of people never have discipline in their whole lives.
Discipline is key to success. If you want to be successful in any walk of life with anything at all, you must be disciplined, because if you're not, they go hand in hand together, don't they?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Upon leaving school, did you have any outlook on your occupation? What did you think you were going to be, Skye? Did you know you were going to... Did you envisage your life going the way it went? Did you think that you were going to be a personal trainer? Did you think you'd be on an online coach or...
No. Do you know, I think there's so much pressure on kids leaving school, and I went to uni. I remember going to uni purely because I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I was like, you know what, I'm by time here and do 3 years in uni. So I went to uni. I had a psychology job for a while when I left, and it just wasn't for me.
What uni did you go to?
John Moores.
Local?
Yeah, Liverpool. And yeah. So, but
what
now,
did you study?
Psychology and writing. But now it's funny because that saves me so much. Like, writing is such a skill. It saves you, especially when you've got like an Instagram and you need to be doing content and stuff. And psychology, I use it every single day with my clients.
Can you assess your clients through psychology? And
1,000,000%. Yeah. I even know when they're lying to me. Yeah.
But don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie.
How did you get into becoming a personal trainer? How did Skye Bleu Fit come to life, and when was the brand born? How did that happen?
So I got into the gym when I was in uni. Actually, I used to work in River Island. So I'd go to uni, work in River Island, then I'd start training. And then when I left uni, I was obviously training more and stuff. Was getting more and more into it. I was going to work then with the psychology job, and it just wasn't for me. I don't think I'm born to be employed. I'm born to be free. So I started...
Born to be wild.
Yeah, born to be wild. And, you know, being employed's not for everyone.
No, it's not. It's not
and
for me.
I just started building the business, and I was Skye Bleu Fitness then, so it's changed a little bit. And I just started, like, you know, around work, I'd build, and then I'd go home and I'd read loads of stuff, and I'd be looking into loads of other things and always learning, and then I'd go back to work, and then eventually I was dropping my hours in work until eventually I left, and I'd build up more and more, and then I got full in the gym. And then from there, I was like, what can I do now? I'll go online. So obviously your time's limited. There's only so many slots you can do in a day. So the next step was online, and then online, like, it's limitless. You know, you've got the whole world there. You haven't got people limited because they can't get to your gym in Liverpool. You know, I've got clients in America. I've got a client who's, well, she's Australian, but she's in Thailand now. You know,
You're worldwide now, aren't you, Skye?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Just saying
it feels amazing.
That's what your brand's done.
Yeah.
To come from just the way you started.
Yeah.
To where it is. How long has it taken you to build that?
It's taken a good 4 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
I think that's great in the period of time.
Yeah.
Like 4 years is a long time in one respect, but in another respect.
Not much in business.
To be going from doing a normal job, normal 9 to 5, to actually having your own business and having a client outreach that far.
Yeah.
America, you know, it's an amazing thing what you've done.
And it is nice to know, like, I did all that on my own.
And that's why I said to you at the start, that was my very, very first question about self-belief and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's deeper than you think.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
You must believe in yourself
to
put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
You know, training people as a job, that takes a lot of self-confidence, because you've got to believe in what you're teaching someone and what you're telling them, and you've got to know that you've put the work in to know what you're conveying.
Yeah.
And I think right now as well, there's more personal trainers than there ever has been before.
Yeah.
PTing's like become a cool thing, and there's a coach on every corner, and you know, some of them are charlatans. I'm not going to speak out of school about anyone in person, but I'm just saying, not everyone's got the credibility to say, listen, I'm a coach and I know what I'm talking about, and really have done the due diligence and done their own work. Some people are just out there to just say, you know what, that doesn't work for me, but I've been down the gym a little bit. You know what, I'll start PTing.
Yeah. You've got to have that drive and that passion for it, I think, and you've got to have lived it. Like, you know, I've been underweight. I wouldn't say I've ever been overweight, but I felt like I've had weight to lose. I've been the girl who is anxious to even go in a gym, believe it or not. So I feel like whenever a client approaches me, like local, online, wherever, I can always relate to them in some sort of way. So they know that I can help them because I've lived the journey.
Do you feel like people don't see that from afar?
From afar, no.
But yeah, it's good to be real and say, you know, you have been there.
Yeah. You've
been in them positions where you've been unhappy with yourself physically.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a dark place mentally?
Yeah. You know, it's on us to pull ourselves out of dark places, but I've been at the highest highs, and I have been at the lowest lows. And I think, like you say, sometimes the lowest lows, you've got to look back, and it is you who's put yourself in that situation. So, you know, there's always something that you can change, and you're never stuck, are you? As soon as you understand you're never stuck, that's what always helps me if I ever, because we all dip. You know, we'll have low days again in the future, but I can get myself out of those ways now. Like, I know what to do.
Dark times as well, like them times, that's where I feel like the most learning's done, and where the most growth happens as well. That's where you learn the most about yourself when it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
If you had a message to anybody watching this podcast who isn't feeling themselves maybe at the minute, or maybe in a bit of a bad place, what would your message be?
I'd say to just try and understand your emotions, really, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Understand you, like, you're different. There's so many people in the world, but no one's you. Reach out to people if you need to. Like, take the stigma away from reaching out for people for help, because there's so much help out there. Even a chat with one of your mates might do you the world of good, and understand that, you know, you are never stuck, and I couldn't preach that anymore. There's always something you can do to help yourself get out of a bad situation. And I think just believe in yourself and set yourself a goal, have some purpose to work towards.
Boss, this is a deep question.
Oh,
I'm asking a few people it lately, and I love it. Different reactions. Who is Skye Bleu Roberts?
Oh, God.
You've got time.
You got me off guard, yeah.
Who are you, Skye? Who are you?
We're going to have to stop to save a sec. I have a little think.
Chill.
Oh, God. I don't even know how to answer that.
Are you a lover? Are you outgoing? Are you happy? Are you driven? What are you? Who are you? What's your purpose? Who are you? It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a good question. No, if I could describe myself, I would describe myself as a lover. I'm definitely a lover. I'm quite deep. I'd say I'm a healer. I love to heal people, help people. And I think you get a lot of healing from that too. And I'd say I'm happy.
Boss answer, because that brings me on to what you think the key components are to having a happy and healthy lifestyle.
Well, number one is always going to be exercise. I don't think you can live a happy, positive life without putting that work in. You know, health is definitely wealth. A clear conscience. Like, don't do anything to anyone else that you wouldn't like done to yourself. You know, don't engage in any drama. I've taught myself now that nothing's worth a reaction. And self-belief and self-love as well. You know, you got to love yourself and believe in yourself. Like we touched on earlier on, that negative influences just bounce off, yeah.
It's a boss answer. I love the part about being true to yourself and like don't do to others that you. Not a lot of people say that type of stuff in this day and age, and it's really true, innit? Integrity, do the right thing when no one's watching.
Definitely.
This is a good one.
Oh, go on.
What the women want. Now, when I say that, that's a broad question.
I know, yeah.
I could have it all day. But I'm saying, when women are coming to you, what are the most common goals, Skye? What are the common questions? What are the things that they're coming to you with and asking in terms of being a coach, being a personal trainer? What are a lot of the goals that they come with, Nav? Is it certain body types?
Yeah.
Did he want to lose weight? Did he want to get strong? What do women want?
I think the women I sort of attract is everyone comes and like, I want a big bum, I want a little waist.
Yeah.
But what I love lately is everyone wants to come and they want to be strong. Like, you know, I'm putting videos up on my Instagram of me lifting heavy, and they want to come in and they want to lift heavy. And like we said before, I love that they're not coming in and like, make me a size 0.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be the coach to do that. I want you to be healthy.
Are you straight up with them as well?
I'm so straight up, yeah. I have turned people away. I've turned people away because if I don't believe in your goals, if I think they're not going to be good for you, they're going to be detrimental to your health, I'm not going to take you there.
If a woman does come in and she's like, you know, I want a big bum and I want a skinny waist, what's your answer to them? What do you say? How do you get a big bum and a skinny waist?
Well, you can do it. You can do anything that you want. Do you want to book in? Yeah. You know, you can do anything that you want, but, you know, things take time. Like, it took me years and years of training to be able to get to, like, the muscle that I've got now. The long-term results, you know, someone might come to me and be able to achieve that in a couple of months. Someone else, it might be a 12-month plan. But if you stick to the plan, you'll get there.
I love the way you talk about muscle, and like, because a lot of, I know I keep saying about women, it's because you're a women's coach. Am I right in saying you don't train men? Do you train men? No, you only train women.
Only women, yeah.
So that's what I love about with you being the first female guest.
Yeah.
Because you are very woman based. I think like I don't know, maybe this is me being a man, so tell me if I'm wrong from the outside looking in, but a lot of women used to be like, they hear about weightlifting and think, whoa, that's not for me, that's for men. But it's actually not, is it? Resistance training is like one of the most important attributes to having a good having a good physique, and longevity for long lasting for your life, and also can aid your diet kind and stuff like that, because you can get away with more and stuff like that. Tell us about that a little bit, Skye. Tell us about like how important like building muscle is.
Yeah, you know, obviously the obvious, it's like the more muscle you have, the stronger you are. You're going to struggle less with like day-to-day tasks. You know, if you have a fall, the more muscle you have, you're going to be more protected. But not only that, it's like people don't understand that like per pound of muscle that you have, you burn an extra 50 calories a day on average. So if you think about it, if you spend this time, you might have to spend 6 months a little bit bigger than what you want to be while you're building. But if you build this muscle in the long term, it's going to reap so much more benefits, because you know you're going to be able to eat more without putting weight on. You're going to be able to, you know, lift heavier and burn more in your training sessions.
I think the next section I'm going to touch on, and it's a word, the word of the fitness industry, and it gets thrown around loads and it gets battered. Diet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on a diet.
Hate it.
It's like, no, you're making lifestyle choices and you're making food choices. Explain to us about like how diets can be. If you've got the wrong diet, it's unrealistic. It's going to be detrimental to your program. Yeah. And, you know, how they can help and how they can hinder us.
I think if you tell yourself you're on a diet, think straight away that's detrimental, because, you know, my girls come to me and I want them to be able to live a lifestyle that they can live forever. No one can diet forever. We love food. Everyone loves to eat, and, you know, They come to me and they make lifestyle changes, and, you know, you might have to eat in a calorie deficit. I hate saying that words, but you know, if you want to lose weight, you got to be in your calorie deficit. Realistically, I wouldn't promote it, but you could be eating a calorie deficit of only McDonald's. Someone else might be eating a calorie deficit of only a calorie surplus of only whole foods. Now they're going to be the ones putting weight on.
Yeah, even though their food's healthier.
And I think understanding the whole concept of that, now bring both of them together, you're going to get next level results. If you're eating right, fueling yourself right, you're going to get more from your workouts. You know, you're going to have a better mood. Your body composition's still going to be a lot better. Pair that with a calorie deficit, the fat's going to come off. You know, and it comes back to willpower and that discipline.
Food affects mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I think if you're going to start a fitness journey, why wouldn't you want to be all in?
Definitely, yeah. And I think once we've got a diet, you're putting limitations there, and it can lead to you being miserable, can't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, some people think like, oh, you know, if I eat 1,400 calories a day and I'm killing myself eating lettuce all day and doing massive amounts of cardio, I'm gonna lose weight. And it's not the case, is it?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And, you know, they're the people who end up falling off the wagon and spiraling out of control, because they restrict themselves that much that, you know, you see it all the time where you end up with the binge restrict cycle, and they go round in circles. Then they end up probably needing to train the mind. It becomes a mental problem more than just physically. But if you understand that, obviously, it's not a race, you'll get there. It's better to have slower results in long term than fast results, which 6 weeks' time, you're going to be binging. And
it's not sustainable, is it?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely not sustainable. And, you know, that's the thing with now, when women are wanting to lift weight, and diet culture it's dying out, and people are understanding that there's much more to fitness than, you know, eating 1,000 calories a day and running on a treadmill.
Nutritional advice, what would you say? Eat whole foods?
Yeah, like focus on your whole foods. I always say, you've probably seen it on Instagram, like the 80-20. I love the 80-20 diet. So like 80% you need to be in, you know, your whole foods. So your fruit, your vegetables, like potatoes, your meat, your proteins. that 20%, I call it soul food. You know, we all love a little bit of chocolate.
Damn.
I love it. Damn. Yeah. I love a bit of chocolate.
Now we're talking.
Now, yeah, like fit it in your calories, and this is how you're going to be able to sustain, should we say, this lifestyle forever, because you can still enjoy what you want to enjoy. Fit it in your calories, eat it in moderation, but fuel your body with the good stuff first. You know, drink your water.
Routine's massive. What's your routine like? You're in good routine? You're constantly on routine?
I'd like to say I'm constantly on routine, but I'm not. And sometimes what I do is I get myself that busy that it's impossible for me to stick to a routine. But when I do stick to my routine, and as much as I can do, is I love being in the 5 a.m. club. I love waking up in the morning before the world's awake. I love training before the world's even awake. And you know what I love is getting my sessions on and being on the treadmill in the gym and seeing people coming in at 7, 8 o'clock, and I'm like,
early.
Yeah, not even that. It's like, I'm finished. Yeah, the world's waking up now, and I'm already done for the day. I can go about my day now and be productive in other ways. But my body and my mind's already looked after.
For anyone watching who's not really aware of the 5 a.m. club and that, could you educate us a little bit more on that? Getting them extra hours in each day to perform.
Yeah, so the 5 a.m. club, obviously, you're waking up early, you're already ahead. And if you can spend your morning being productive, the rest of your day is just always going to be productive, because you've set the stone earlier on. You know, people always say to me, but you're an early person, you're an early bird, you like getting up early. No, I don't. It kills me getting up out that bed. And when my alarm goes off at 4 o'clock, it crosses your mind all the time to snooze it, but I never do. You know,
that's a winner's mentality. That's great.
Yeah.
When you don't snooze that alarm, we're all guilty of it. You know, I did myself this morning, 10 minutes. I'll just have 10 minutes. But to be fair, I can't do 10 minutes and then I'll jump up, and then I really didn't want to run today, but it did. Still got my gear on, and I got out there and got it done. But it's it's beating that alarm and getting out of the bed, that just makes you win. I think that's that it's so important. It sets your mindset for the rest of the day. It's like you've started on the right note, haven't you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I just think, don't tell yourself you're going to do something and then not do it. So, if you don't think you're going to get up in the 5 a.m. club, don't tell yourself you're going to. Don't even set that 4 a.m. alarm to get yourself up. Tell yourself to do things that you're going to do, and you might be able to work towards that 5 a.m. club. And for me, the 5 a.m. club's being in the gym at 5 a.m. It's not even being up at 5 a.m. I
feel sorry for you girls training with her.
I love it. I get my training in before them, and the days when I do, I love that because it even helps them in their sessions, because I'm like, come on, I've already suffered today. It's your turn. We've got to have that little bit of pain.
To get the pleasure? Yeah, it's the price that you pay, I suppose. It's as you said as well about setting the bar low enough. If you're setting a high bar all the time and you're not attaining them goals, you start to feel disappointed in yourself, because you said, you know what, I'll get up at 6, but you got up at 7.
Yeah.
So straight away you've had a loss there. Then it was I'll eat in a certain way, and you don't, and then there's another loss, and then losses compound, and over time you start feeling bad about yourself.
Yeah, and you feel like a failure.
If you just maybe said, you know what, I get up at 6:30 maybe at first, and you do get up at 6:30, and you the goal was to eat a little bit more, but you're still in a deficit, then, and you hit them goals. As you hit them, you start feeling good, don't you? And then you can start going, you know what, that 6:30, I could get 6 o'clock in there.
Yeah.
And 6 will become 5 eventually. Do you think people overload too much too early, Skye?
1,000,000%.
They start thinking, right, I'm going to, I'll start running, I'll stop drinking, I'll do this, I'll do that. And it's just too much too soon, and it's not viable.
Yeah. And, for some people can do that. I can probably train my mind for a massive change straight away and be okay with it. But some people, that doesn't work for them. You've always got to do what works for you. Stop comparing yourself to someone else. So, if you want to get in your 5 a.m. club and you're used to getting up at 8, get up at 7, then get up at 6:30, then even get up at 6:15 if the 15 minutes is going to make a difference. And, eventually you'll get there. But, I've had years of, the reason I ended up in the 5 a.m. club is because I was full in the gym. So I was like, right, early slot, change my slots around. And then I got used to being up then.
Yeah.
So for me.
It was facilitating your lifestyle, and it was giving you, it was helping you with your obligations to coach people, because obviously they're working, so they need to be before that time frame.
Yeah.
Do you ever crash in the afternoons? Mentally?
No.
Don't you?
No.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like a couple of years ago when I was first getting into like the early mornings, I did, but then I just started planning my days a little bit different, and you know, sometimes I'd be up early, but I wouldn't be going to bed till like 11, 12, so the next day I might have had like a little crash in the afternoon, but
what time do you normally go to bed now?
I like to be in bed by 9 o'clock whenever possible. Yeah.
Do you eat in a time window?
No.
Just eat whenever you want?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have set times that I eat, but you know, I'm not a massive breakfast person, so I have like that sort of routine, but I don't have like
a certain period of time what you can eat in.
Yeah,
no. You're free like that. You eat when you want.
Yeah. And that's because that works for me.
You know? Definitely, and it's what works for you, not what works for you. Might work for everybody else, but these are the things that I've got to get out, and these are the things I think about. I want to move on, and I want to talk about like mentality, and talking about which will come into, you know, comparison and stuff like that. I feel like mind chat is a big one, and like self-talk. When we were saying earlier on about affirmations, like I feel like a lot of us aren't aware of this, but we do a lot of self-talk where it's like you'll see someone and it'd be like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I'm not strong enough for that, or I'm not good enough for that, or that person, or whatever. Like, you know, just automatically in our minds we can say these things. Sometimes you see a challenge or whatever it may be, and you tell yourself that you're not good enough or you can't do it. And our own voices are the most important voice in the whole world. They're the most important things and thoughts. And you touched on it earlier where you said you're not bothered about other people's opinions as much as your own. And I find that really unique, because in today's day and age, Skye, I feel like so many people are bothered about everyone else's opinion but not their own. And they don't really concentrate on what's going on in their own mind chatter, that negative voice. And I feel like if we become aware of that, we can change it to a positive voice, and it'll make so much more of a difference, because it that reinforces your self-belief and everything. And I feel like because people are that worried about what Sandra thinks on Insta, Karen thinks on Facebook, like, you know, they forget about what's truly important, because other people's opinions or what their thoughts are on you are trivial, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And there's like a little saying, there's other people's opinions on you and none of your business. And I think you need to understand that, because they're really not. And as I say, I don't care what anyone thinks of me, because I know I'm a good person and I know that my morals are right. So I think when it comes to like mentality, you've got to be able to train your mind that when you ever do get those negative thoughts, which we all get them, I get them all the time, you've got to have that voice stronger that's like, no, I can, I will, because I am strong and I am brave and I can do it because I am successful, you know. And if you haven't got that, you know, life's gonna wipe the floor with you, isn't it?
100%, definitely. Yeah, I think moving from that into comparison, do you think people are comparing themselves to stuff which is not real because of the way social media is? Like, this is risky for me to say this, but especially for women, because men are putting filtered information out there 100% all the time. You know, they put people on in general are putting out what they want you to see and not what reality is. But like, there's a lot of filtered. I'd like to say I don't think lads do it that much. Well, my mates don't, but women, it's like filtered photos and all that. So like, certain people are comparing themselves to somebody else, but that's not reality, because they're putting up filtered photos, filtered information. So they think, you know, oh, Sandra's living her best life and like I should look like that. And do you think we've been programmed to, or a lot of society has been programmed to feel that they should look a certain way, or think they should feel a certain way?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're the tech generation, aren't we? So we're the first generation who's probably facing that and coming to terms with that. And, you know, it is only Instagram. You've got to take everything you see on Instagram really with a pinch of salt, because, you know, it's like our little shop window, especially when you have a business or you're a little bit of an influencer. A lot of the time people are only going to want to put things out there that, you know, the positive. Loads of people don't share the negative sides. So I think whenever you are, you know, finding yourself reeled into comparing yourself or thinking negative of yourself for these reasons, you've got to remember that, like, these are this person's high moments, and a lot of them high moments aren't even real. You know, it's not real life, is it? It is only Instagram.
It's highlight reel.
Yeah. So even though your friends, if you look at your friends' lives and what you know about their lives, and if you was to look at the social media, it's always going to be a little bit different, because why are they going to post their lowest lows on Instagram?
No one does, do they?
No,
they don't put it in
not many people would. Yeah.
Do you have any influencers? Do you have inspirational people around you? Who are your role models, Skye? Who do you look to?
You know, like, my main role model's always got to be my mum. Like, she works so hard, and I think, like, I've definitely got my drive from her. And I don't really have any influencers who I look up to.
Oh, yeah.
No, not really. I just sort of, you know, do my own thing, and, like, my goals are personal, so they can never really come from another person.
What are your aspirations? What do you aspire to be?
Always better than yesterday. I always want to progress. One day I can see myself being fully online, and, like, I can see myself being massive, and I know I'll get there because I have got those visions. So yeah, I aspire to be free from the matrix, free to be wherever I want to be.
Is your goal more freedom than finance based?
Yeah, I think, you know, finance based is, you'd always feel silly saying it out loud, but, like, I'm so financially free now, whereas back in the day, like years ago, I think to where I am now, and you think that's going to be your happiness, like, you'll be happy when you get there. And, you know, I am happy, but I'm not happy for that reason. Like, I want to be free. I want to be able to live my life. I want to be able to get up tomorrow and go on a plane, and a lot of the time I can do that now, but I'm not where I want to be yet.
You're blessed.
Yeah, I am. I'm very blessed.
You know, and sometimes we don't take it in either. You don't stop. Well, I know I don't. When I'm working consistently that hard towards goals, I'll set one, I'll achieve it, and I'll set another, and I'll achieve it. And I don't think we ever really sit back and go, do you know what? You don't really look back.
Yeah.
But you've smashed it, Skye. You really, really have.
Thank you.
You mentioned to me about the personal training. Do you teach clients still one-to-one based now?
Yes.
Can people reach out to you, or are you fully booked? Or could you create space for people? I
am fully booked, but I'm just with all my OGs now. All the girls who train with me now, they've
day ones.
90% of them are my day ones. If a space ever comes available, because sometimes they'll pair up with each other, or, you know, a lot of them know each other because, you know, they've passed each other or they've doubled up in the past. I might get the odd space, but it is rare. And I'm not building in the gym now
if somebody was looking to train with you, Skye,
yeah,
you got to be serious.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've stopped girls training with me before, because, for one, I don't want to take money off them if they're not going to work. Plus, I don't want someone to say, oh yeah, I train with Skye Bleu, and people are like, oh really? Because, you know, like, it's all about the branding. I think, like, building your brand, you've got to be picky who you take on and who you have as your clientele as well.
Just one that's in my head now, but your slogan's got to be "Sky's the limit." It's got to be.
Someone else said that to me, "Sky's the limit."
No,
quite like that. No one's ever said that to me before.
If somebody wants to train with your online program, how do they go about reaching out to you? How can somebody get, and what does the program entail? What's available with Skye Bleu Fitness or Skye Bleu Fitness? What is available, Skye? What can people look to get from the program? How do they go about reaching out to you, and what is available?
So you can reach out to me on Instagram. There is a link in the bio. Sometimes people are even anxious to send a message on Instagram, you know. There's a link in the bio too, where you can click and you can sign up with some, I'll ask you some questions, and, you know, there is a plan online for everyone. You'll get meals, you get check-ins with me. There's a chat on there where you can communicate directly with me. It's like almost like a WhatsApp, like an instant messaging. And, you know, because sometimes people message me and they think if they sign up, it's like a generic program. Answer. Yeah, it's not. So every single person who signs up to me, it is me who does your plan for you.
Is it personal to the client?
Yeah.
So what if you were training me, my goals and my needs are going to be different to somebody else's?
Yeah.
Would it be personalised for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So every plan is, I'll look at your questions, your answers, your goals, and I'll tailor every single plan to you, you know, your calories, what food you like, goals that you're going to enjoy. There's no point me telling you to go and do 10,000 steps a day if you actually enjoy doing 20,000 steps a day, you know. But if you want to put weight on, that's not going to be a good idea. You know, I'm going to look at all your information and make a plan what's going to get you to your goals. And, you know, I'm very available for people you'll check in once a week, but I am available if anyone has any questions, you know, midweek on that instant chat.
If somebody's remote, so like as we said before, maybe America, Thailand, Dubai, the small places, wherever. Can they chat to you, Skye? Do you ever do like video calls?
Yeah, all the time.
In terms of the actual training program itself, will you just set them a program and send it to them? Or do people do sessions with you, remote sessions, or do you do group sessions on there? Do you put stuff up in there?
Yeah.
Is there a group where you might put like, you know, messages out or
so
content?
I don't do any like Zooms or anything like that. No. But what'll happen is you'll sign up, you'll have your little account on the app, and then all your program, your workout videos, they'll be there. You'll have instant messaging to message me if you've got any questions. You'll have like a check-in forms, which will make little graphs for you where you can see your progress. Now, I can go on there whenever. So, you know, your check-in might be every single Wednesday, but all my clients know, and they love me and they hate me for it, is I might go and look at you on a Monday. Yeah. Now, your check-in doesn't need to be in, but I'll be able to see if you've done your work so far, you know, and I can give you that little catch-up. Yeah, there's no playing catch-up. And, you know, if you're sending me times, some clients don't want to have set days where they train, but there's a certain amount that they should have done by that Monday, and I'll be able to see that. And, you know, someone might need a little nudge, or they might need a little chat, or they actually might need a different plan. It might not be working for them, but I'm very invested in helping people. It's not just, oh yeah, it's generic and you check in once a week. Like, I am available more than that.
Accountability is massive, innit? For all of us.
Yeah.
We all need somebody. You need somebody to hold you
definitely.
accountable.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got no one to hold you accountable, then you're less likely to do the work. I think we all need it sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely need it. And I need someone to be harsh with me. Like, I can take tough love.
Are you harsh with the clients? The ones who need it? The ones who like it? Yeah,
the ones who need it. I think you obviously you adapt to your different clientele and what works for them. Some of them, tough love might scare them away. You know, some of them need that extra reassurance. We've all got different personalities. You know, people see me and they're like, oh, little Skye, blah, blah, blah. But I've actually got quite a harsh personality. So I need someone to hold me accountable and be like, you know, give me tough love. Tell me off for something I haven't done, you know.
In the future, what does Skye Bleu Fit look like to you? Is it gonna go massive, Skye?
I think so.
Say it out loud,
Yeah.
Is it gonna go big?
Absolutely.
Worldwide?
Yes.
Is it? This is the question. Could fall out here.
What?
Is it always gonna be for women?
It'll always be for women.
Would you ever train men?
You know, I have thought about it, like Skye Bleu Fit, men's side, but no, it's just not my niche, and it's not what I don't think I'd enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And talking before about, you know, my girls come to me, I can relate to them all, and I pride myself as I am very much involved with my business, and I always will be to a certain extent, no matter how big that we grow or I grow. So from that, how can I take men on, because they're not going to get the same service. I'm not going to be able to relate to them. A lot of the issues or the problems that they're going to have, I'm not going to be able to relate to.
Yeah.
And I think that would take a lot away from my business.
I think it's amazing the way you've shut your stall out and you've just like, you know, that's that, and you're doing what you're doing. I think that's really good, and I think in business you've got to be set on that.
Yeah.
So thanks for telling us you're legging us and you're not training us.
Never.
No, but
I have
yeah,
to come wearing a wig.
Do you know, men's mental health right now is massive, like big stigma around it, and like there's loads going on with it. Just because I'm not like down with the women on that side of things as much. Is it the same with women? Do you have clients or do you have people come and see you, Skye, like who maybe not just for the physical side of things, they'll come and they might say to you like they're not feeling 100% mentally, they're not feeling great and stuff like that?
Yeah, and especially like now, and the last couple of years have been hard for so many people, and a lot of people are struggling now, and you know, exercise is always going to help with that, but it's even having someone to talk to. Sometimes it's nice having someone to talk to outside, like your friendship group, you know, your close circle, your family, someone who, you know, you can tell this information and it's never going to go any further. And I might have a different outlook to someone around them because I'm not involved, I'm outside. So yeah, I think mental health now it's at an all-time low, and it's sad really.
Would you say you're a mentor in some lights, some capacities?
Yeah, I'd say so. And I think, like I said earlier,
do you think there's more room for progression in that?
I can see the app going,
more that way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I'm working on a bigger app now with like a bigger capacity, and I have got visions to be, you know, bring a lot more wellness into it too, because I think it's so important.
What could we expect to see in the future, the near future? Is there anything like that? Any wellness or anything?
I'm not spilling anything.
I'm
not spilling, no. We'll see.
Let's go back to when Skye Bleu was when it first originated, and you were trying to build that client base, and you were moving it from progression from personal training to an online client base. What's the type of work that you had to put in building that brand, like away from the scenes, Skye, the stuff that people don't see?
Yeah.
What went into that? Walk us through that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's relentless really. You know, you've got to be all in. Yeah, it's relentless really. You've got to be all in. You've got to know that like it is hard, nothing's easy. I had coming from working a 12-hour shift, and I'd sit on my laptop for hours, get a bath, go to bed, back up in the morning, back in the gym, a bath, go to bed, back up again, gym, come home on the laptop working. And you know, in those moments, and people would be like, oh, how'd you cope? And I'd be like, I love that I'm able to do that, because I know it's all going to pay off. And I think, you know, it's the difference, isn't it, between people who do take off and people who don't. Like, I'll always be able to put the work in, and you know, it comes with so much sacrifice. Like, I've had friends say to me, oh, you know what, I never see it anymore. And like, you know, I'm always there for all my friends. I love them so much, but I don't want to be in the group chat. I'm in no group chats. I haven't got time to be sat, you know, engaging in gossip on my phone. And there's been loads of events that I've missed with family and with friends, because my time at the moment is I've got to pour my all into building this vision that I've got.
It's precious, isn't it? Yeah,
it's precious, and you know, sometimes people don't understand that, but I think for me, it's so important, and that is the sacrifices that you do have to make.
If there's a woman watching this now who's looking to set out a business, whether that be in the fitness industry or any type of industry, whether they've just started or they're looking to start, what advice would you give to them, Skye?
I'd say put the work in and understand, like, every free hour that you've got should be going into your business. If you believe in it and you've got these big visions, you've got to do the work. You know, we all believe in the secret, but you know, it comes with massive action, and you've got to put that action in and be willing to, you know, be working every single hour that you're a week, even if it's for a couple of months. It's gonna pay off.
If we act, we become, don't we?
Yeah.
If you act on something, we become it.
Yeah, you can't just wish for it.
You've got to understand what it means to be that person, haven't you? To get to attain that goal, to attain that vision. You've travelled a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Can we touch on that? Can we talk about that? Yeah. Give me all the feels and all the details.
Yeah, so this time last year, actually, I just got on a 1-week flight to Thailand.
Wow, just got up randomly.
Yeah, just on my own.
Did you plan it, Skye, before it?
I knew I was going to go away. I'd had like a massive life change, and I'd not really seen the way, I mean, I'd been on holidays and stuff like that, but I'd never really had, like, I was in like a long relationship, so I'd never really been able to just get up and go somewhere on your own, because you can't do that when, like, I was in a relationship from young, and last year I was like, I want to go and see the world. So I literally got on a 1-way flight. I booked Thailand for 3 weeks.
On your own?
On my own, yeah. Flew literally to the other side of the world. My house sold. I didn't have the keys to my new house yet, so I got off. And 3 weeks in Thailand, extended, ends up there for 3 months. Just didn't want to come home.
It's mad.
Yeah.
Just shows you the independence of you as well. What you've built, that's just amazing as well. Like, independent woman, you know, you've built everything for yourself from scratch, and you've got out there and you've made it happen. So you kept extending and extending. What was you doing while you were in Thailand?
I was training out there. It's like the first couple of weeks, like I was overwhelmed. Like there's one.
I seen you hitting pads and that, kicking pads and that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was
him. Make sure you get your routines and girls.
That was in May that time. So funnily enough, the first time I went to Thailand, when I came home, because I was training out there and everyone knew there's like a street out there where everyone trains and stuff. And I was doing these classes, they were like the hardest classes, but I didn't do any Muay Thai. Didn't do any of it. So I come home and that's the first thing people asking me. I was like, I didn't go. And that's because that was something that was outside my comfort zone, I suppose. Yeah. And not only that, is like I had a perfect routine. I had to go up, I'd go to class, I'd watch the sunrise, I'd go for a walk, I'd do yoga, I'd do work on my laptop, and I already had the perfect day. So I went back, so I eventually came home. I went to Dubai and then I came home for Christmas.
What was Dubai like?
And you know, I've been to Dubai before on holidays, and I did enjoy Dubai, and I was like, my good friend's moved there now. She works as like an air hostess, but it was lovely to be there with my friends, and I felt like when I got there I was back in the real world a little bit, and it was nice. But after a couple of weeks I was like, I'm over it now. And
where would you prefer, Thailand or Dubai?
Thailand by far.
Would you?
Yeah, like 1,000,000 times over.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You went back?
Yeah, and then I went back again on my own. I went back in May, but it was funny because I was in the gym this day and I was talking to mates and I was like, I think I'm going to go to Thailand soon. And they were like, how are you? Like, soon to them, it's like a couple of months, this end of the year. They were like, when? I was like, I don't know yet. And then I come back in. It must have been like a Thursday, so I come back in the Friday. Like, I booked Thailand for Tuesday. And they were like, what? Wow. And I was like, yeah, I'm going on Tuesday. So I went, and I only did like 10 days that time. Because I had like stuff on, but I just went over there on my own. But it's funny because you have like a little Thailand family out there, so you know there's people out there from Liverpool, Manchester, Australia, all around the world. And this time when I went there on my own, but I already knew everyone. I already knew so many people there, and they were all like the teachers in the class. I knew loads of people from class. There was people out there who'd gone out there at the same time as me on a 1-way flight too. They're still out there now. What
was class like? What would you be doing in the class?
Oh my God, they were the hardest classes. Like, you'd be fighting demons the whole way through, but you'd finish like, wow, I did that.
What would it be like a circuit or something like that?
Yeah, the ones I'd do, they were like the hardest ones at 9:30, and they were circuits, but like, I remember one time it was like a 2K uphill running, like the 30-degree heat, with like holding 2 heavy kettlebells on your arm like this, and if you dropped your kettlebells, then the whole class would have to start again. No. But you know, you'd suffer so much, and remember times like you'd be like, why am I even doing this to myself? But you know, when you'd get back, like, yeah, I'd done that, and it built.
No feeling like it is after it.
It's like that feeling like, oh my God, I did that. Like, I built that mental resilience. Like, I can do anything.
That reinforces your self-belief, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
really
and like, I think the best way to reinforce your self-belief and build resilience is with your physical body, because do you know how strong your mind's got to be not to put those kettlebells down when, you know, you're dying for a drink, you're in agony, you're walking up this hill and you've got so much left to go, but you don't want to let your mates down in class because you don't want to put anyone else through anything worse.
You've got to be mentally robust.
Yeah.
And that's when you're stepping up to the plate. And if you keep stepping up to the plate, you keep going every day, it's like, you're with this.
Yeah. And then you'd finish class and, you'd go about the day, and the next day you'd be like, oh, I've got class again. And, there was times where you'd be like, I'll have a day off, but I never ever did. I always got there. And I remember the time I went in May, one day I was jet lagged because I got off the plane and I went straight to like yoga and whatever I did. And the next day I was a little bit jet lagged and I'd overslept my alarm, which isn't like me. Yeah. And I'd woke up bang on 9:30. So I was like, obviously I'm staying on the street. It's a few minute walk to class. And I was like, I missed it. Then I messaged my mate in class and they were like, oh no, it's not started yet. I think they were just going around showing like what each exercise was. And I was like anxious about going in there late, and I thought, don't even care if I get like burpees because I'm late, I'm going to do the class. Yeah. So got myself out of bed, quickest shower of my life, got my stuff on, turned up. At this time I'm like 10 minutes late and they're only just going into the warm-up. And when I finished, I just felt so good because I thought I could have easily stayed in bed there, but I didn't.
You done it.
Yeah.
You got there and you done it. Do you feel like you got a lot of growth through the travelling?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And even the fact that I've got on a plane and gone on, with 2 7-hour flights, you get one flight, it depends on who you fly with, but like I fly with Qatar, so it's one flight from Manchester to Doha, and then it's another 7-hour flight from Doha to Thailand, and even just doing that on your own. Yeah, and then like, getting yourself to your hotels, and even for me, because you think I am a proper people person, but I'm not. So even for me to be out there and like to be meeting friends and stuff, I don't take to a lot of people. And I met friends for life out there.
That's when you put yourself in them uncompromising positions, because you've got no other option. You're out there and you've got to make this happen now, you know what I mean? You're out that comfort zone, and that's where the magic happens, innit?
1,000,000%. And you're putting yourself in situations with like surroundings with like-minded people, and you are going to form bonds with these type of people.
You thrive, don't you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I'm going back in November with like a couple of the girls who I met there last year, and I think how amazing is that? Like we didn't even know each other this time last year.
Kicking into you saying
and like we're all going out there individually, we're going out all different dates, but like we'll all be back out there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it your happy place?
It's definitely my happy place. I hate coming home.
You've done really, really well with everything you've done and how you've built what you've built, Skye. I just think the future's massive for you. I think you should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you.
I think you're inspirational, and you're a role model for young girls growing up and coming through, and all women in general on a whole.
Thank you.
And I'd like to take the time to thank you as well for coming on and being our first female guest, because it's massive for us. And you're going to be in the history. Shake the mic now, because you were the first ever female. Before we do go, I want to hit you with a few quick questions.
Oh, here we go.
This brightens it up a little bit, just a little laugh and a joke, you know what I mean? But you've got to be fast. You can't mess me around, Skye, you know what I mean? Okay. What you're saying about your clients, you're in the hot seat.
Okay, let's see.
What's your favourite exercise routine? It can be anything, kettlebells, circuit, anything running.
At the moment, kettlebells.
Favourite musician or song?
I'm going to have to say Beyonce.
Favourite spot in the city?
Who?
Hair up or hair down?
Down.
Favourite food?
Pasta. Gluten-free, because I'm now celiac. But still pasta.
Crisp or chocolate?
Crisp.
Heels or trainies?
Both. Don't make me pay.
Gym wear or going out stuff?
Gym wear. Nice gym wear.
Boss night out or a great night in?
Great night in.
Read a book or watch the telly?
Both. Only joking. That's actually a book.
You can only keep one possession. What would it be?
My phone.
Yeah, I knew it. You can go anywhere in the world. Where would you go?
Thailand.
Thanks so much for coming on. Before you go, would you like to do any shout outs to anybody, anyone at all?
Yes, I would like to shout out to Flow Fitness for my fabulous outfit and all the outfits she sends me.
Skye, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Everyone, thanks very much for tuning in. Until next time, ciao.